It seems like ages ago, but Apple introduced Touch ID as a way of unlocking their signature iPhone in 2013. For many people, this was probably their first introduction to the exciting world of biometric identification. The basic idea of biometric identification is that you take some easily measurable attribute of a person that is both relatively unique and also slow to change, their facial features, their fingerprint, their voice, and reduce it to a series of numerical relationships. You can then compare the scan you took of a known person at time 1 to the scan of an unknown person at time 2 and see if they match. This technology can be really powerful, and right now only a few states have laws concerning it. This is a potential growth area for legal innovation, however, so it bears watching. Most biometric systems are used in one of two ways. One is to authenticate an individual. Is this John, the owner of this account? This is a one-to-one matching problem. The other is to identify an individual. Who is this person who is standing in front of me? This takes the one target and compares them with an array of possible matches, whether it be an employee database, a list of known shoplifters, or the state's driver's license database. Believe it or not, one of the most common uses of biometrics is for employee timekeeping. Time card fraud, having your buddy punch the clock for you, costs employers a lot of money. Merely by switching to a biometric time clock, usually a fingerprint scanner, you can make sure the person clocking in is who they say they are. Other uses are more sci-fi. Law enforcement and big box retailers often want to identify security camera images, and event venues have sometimes used facial recognition to scan for known stalkers of performers. Some companies even purport to be able to match an image taken of a person on the street with their various social media profiles, though it's unclear just how good those apps are. There are a couple major privacy problems with this kind of software. Probably the most intuitive is that not everyone wants the guy checking them out in a coffee shop to be able to take a picture of them and get their full name and a place of employment off LinkedIn. There are also big picture concerns about the end of anonymity in public and fear of what might happen if the government gains the ability to effortlessly track people on public streets. There's always been a lurking fear that the hacking of a company's biometric database can lead to a unique kind of security breach. The whole point of your biometrics is that they're relatively unchangeable after all. It's not like you can get a new password. But it's unclear whether that's a real concern. Fear of biometric devices has been with us for as long as fear of genetic profiling. Just see the 1990s movie Gattaca combining the two. But biometric privacy has not yet attracted a federal statute. As of 2020, only 4 states, Illinois, Texas, Washington, and California, have biometric privacy laws in place. And of those 4 states, only Illinois has a law that grants a clear private right of action, meaning individuals can sue, and statutory damages, meaning you can sue for a technical violation of the statute even if nothing bad has happened to you yet. In the case of that statute, it's $1,000 per negligent violation. This has, predictably, led to an absolute flood of litigation on behalf of the residents of Illinois. So where does this leave companies? As an employer, it isn't that hard to comply with these statutes if you know to look out for them. It is just one more form to sign during onboarding and one more collection of data for IT to secure. On the customer side, consider the example of Google. The Google Arts and Culture app introduced a functionality that could scan an uploaded image and identify a classic piece of art that the person in the image resembled. This feature, which was briefly very popular, was not turned on in either Illinois or Texas. Nest, which has facial recognition on some of its security products, turns that feature off in Illinois. If you are a national company that is thinking of collecting biometric data from your customers, you have to consider very carefully these state laws. Pretty much every major tech company has been sued for violating the Illinois statute. Some have won, but they've still had to fight the lawsuit. And don't forget the risk management side of things. One of my papers investigated how people feel about different business uses of biometrics. It turns out that people's opinions shift substantially depending on how the data is going to be used. They're a lot happier with security uses of biometrics, anti-shoplifting for instance, than something like ad tracking. Biometric privacy is going to be a hot issue for years to come. The possibilities of facial recognition are only going to grow as the technology becomes more reliable, and companies are going to find new ways to monetize this type of data. As they do, they need to keep a very careful eye out for emerging developments in biometric privacy law.